All right, hello everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with a Tuesday evening update on our forecast. Now, as far as our KVUE area here in Central Texas is concerned, the forecast since we last spoke yesterday has trended in the right direction. And by trending in the right direction, I mean our system coming in later this week looks like it will bring mainly a cold rain to our KVUE area. Still across parts of the hill country, a spotty wintry mix can't be completely ruled out, but I think the odds of seeing significant wintry precipitation issues here in our KVUE area, they continue to decrease. Now, for our friends in North Texas and the DFW area, obviously it's a much different situation. But with that being said, we will get into our forecast. So I will start with this. Still, we have a weather impact alert for Thursday, but it's more so a precaution and again to account for some spotty issues in the hill country. And hey, even if we don't have ice, we're going to have widespread soaking cold rain through much of the day on Thursday. Okay, so Wednesday night into Thursday is when the precipitation moves in. Then it's going to end from west to east Thursday night into very early Friday morning. Mainly a cold rain, but west of I-35, mainly in the hill country. Again, there could be some spotty wintry mix. So what you need to do at this point, just continue to monitor the forecast and prepare for maybe one or two slick spots, again, in the hill country as we go Wednesday night into Thursday. So before we get into any precipitation, it is going to be cold again tonight. It's not going to be quite as cold as what we had this morning, but still it's going to be a freeze. I have 30 degrees in the forecast in Austin, 29 in Giddings, 28 in Rockdale. Mainly mid-20s in the hill country, but some areas like Fredericksburg and Mason dropping down to the low 20s again. So certainly a night where you want to do the freeze preps again, as we've been doing for the past several nights. Here's a closer look at the metro and the I-35 corridor. 30 degrees again in Austin, 29 Pflugerville, 28 in Round Rock. Leander 28, Laga Vista about 27 degrees. All right, here's Wednesday. Tomorrow, I've actually increased our excuse me. Guys, I'm still dealing with I'm recovering from a pretty bad case of the flu a couple days ago. So bear with me, a little bit of a cough, a little bit of a sore throat going on. But our system has trended slower, which means cloud cover slower to move in tomorrow. So our temperatures are going to be much warmer. I have mid 40s in the forecast for Wednesday, 45 degrees for Austin. No rain at all in the forecast during the day on Wednesday. But then Wednesday night into Thursday is when that precipitation starts to move in. Closer look, Metro I-35 corridor, again, mid to upper 40s on the forecast. Okay, let's go into our models. Again, the trend has been slower. You may be thinking, I thought it was more so about the track of the system. Why is the speed of the system so important? Well, it matters because now the point of the day on Thursday when the precipitation is going to be moving in, it's going to be later in the day. So temperatures are going to be warmer when the precipitation moves in as opposed to if it had moved in all overnight into very early Thursday, then it would be colder. And again, that is one of the big reasons why our odds of wintry issues here in our KVUE area have gone down. So let me explain. We'll go through our model. Here's 5 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be a mostly cloudy sky. We keep going. Here is 3 a.m. At that point, some initial showers, maybe a little bit of wintry mix, but mainly rain showers moving into the hill country. Still some spotty stuff as we go into 7 a.m. But again, it's trending later. So even by sunrise Thursday morning, there's not going to be major widespread rain just yet. Now, as we go into Thursday, here comes the widespread stuff. Look at our temperatures. Temperatures on Thursday actually dropping through much of the day. I think we start the day upper 30s, low 40s. Then by the mid to late afternoon, it's going to be mid to upper 30s. So noon, some pink across the hill country. That would be a wintry mix. In this case, could there be some sleet mixed in? If some areas are down at freezing, there could be some light freezing rain and some light icing, although as our forecast is trended warmer, I just don't know that many areas are going to be down below freezing or at least at freezing. And then maybe a snowflake or two, but I think sleet, maybe some freezing rain, the main two things we'll watch out for. Let's keep going. Here is 6 o'clock on Thursday. It is a widespread soaking cold rain. It's 35 degrees in Austin. I told you yesterday, expect some changes in the forecast. I also told you yesterday, 1 or 2 degrees is going to matter. 35 2 degrees between 35 and 32. That is the difference between having wintry issues and just having cold rain. Now, this rain, it can be heavy in pockets. You see some of these yellows and oranges showing up. And again, still some pinks west of I-35. There could be some spotty wintry mix. We'll watch for maybe a couple slick spots, especially elevated surfaces across the hill country. Here we go into midnight. Rain's going to be coming to an end Thursday night from west to east. Now, past model runs, we're trying to hint that maybe on the back edge of this, there could be a brief switch over to some snowflakes or some sleet pellets. Models now seem to be backing off of that idea, but it's not completely out of the question that maybe there's a few snowflakes as the precipitation comes to an end. But if that were to happen, I don't expect travel impacts or anything major from that. Here's 2 a.m., precip moving out, and then by the time we get into Friday morning, everything is done. And that will do it for us here in Central Texas. Here's our latest map with the latest thinking, mainly a chilly rain. Again, I think mainly cold rain for us here in Central Texas. Still, I'm highlighting in the pink some areas of the Hill Country, Mason, Llano, Burnett, Blanco, Gillespie County, where some spotty wintry mix is possible. But as far as our KVUE area is concerned, even here in the pink shaded spots, I don't expect major concerns. Again, could there be a slick spot or two? Do I want you to be mindful on the roads? Yes, but even here, I don't expect major icing. I don't expect major accumulation of snow or sleet or anything like that. Now, I want to show you one of the models that we've been looking at. In fact, it's the model I just showed you, the graph model. Here is what it is printing out as far as ice accumulation. And as you can see, it is not very impressive at all, showing maybe a little bit of a light glaze trying to form over parts of Blanco, Gillespie. Again, we're just going to be watching areas west of I-35, Blanco, Burnett, Llano, Mason, Gillespie County, where it's possible there could be some freezing rain, some sleet, maybe a sleet pellet or, a snowflake or two. Mainly though, it's a soaking rain, and this is rain that we need before we got into any winter weather discussion. We were hoping at least for some rain, and we're certainly going to get that. In fact, I think many areas see 1 to an inch and a half of rain, maybe some areas up to about 2 inches of cold soaking rain. So winter weather potential has gone down, but the rain chance has not gone down. It is definitely going to rain, I can tell you that much. All right, so I want to show you, I showed you the zoom in version. Here is the statewide picture. Obviously, a lot of interest in the Dallas area, maybe you have friends or family, or a lot of Longhorn fans here in Austin. The Cotton Bowl on Friday. So here's the statewide view. This is 1 o'clock on Thursday. Austin points southeast, soaking cold rain. You can see in the middle here, there's going to be some icy issues or a mix. And then the white, of course, that is snow, which is still in the forecast for the Dallas area and other parts of North Texas. In fact, it will be accumulating several inches. Here's 9:30 on Thursday. Then Thursday night, this all moves out. So, of course, the Cotton Bowl, it is on Friday. Precipitation is going to be moving out, but best travel advice that I could give you as a meteorologist would be to go tomorrow. Get up to Dallas tomorrow and hopefully have a hotel that's within walking distance of AT&T Stadium. You don't have to deal with anything. Even though the precipitation is going to be gone by Friday morning, driving up I-35, once you get into the Dallas area, there could be snow and ice and all sorts of mess on the ground. So I still think it's going to be very dicey travel-wise on Friday, even though the precipitation is going to be moved out at that point. Here's the snowfall accumulation off of our graph model. Again, don't take this verbatim, but it illustrates the point. There's still likely to be several inches of accumulating snow in the Dallas area. Other parts of North Texas, you can see where that snow line sets up. Then we're going to mix a little farther south, but here in the Austin area, again, we're not really expecting snow. Statewide map, one more time for you. Mainly snow up here closer to the DFW area and North Texas in the pink. That would be a wintry mix, which does go down into parts of our Hill Country counties here in the KVUE area. However, again, even if we were to see a little bit of light freezing rain, a little bit of sleet, maybe a little change over to snow in the backside of things, I don't expect major accumulations. I don't expect major travel problems. This is not going to be a repeat of the big ice storm that we had a couple of years ago. So that is our thinking. Now, here's our forecast tonight. 30 degrees. It's another freeze, but it's not quite as cold. Clouds will increase late tonight into tomorrow morning. That's why it's going to be a little warmer. 45 degrees tomorrow, mostly cloudy, chilly, but still dry tomorrow. Then our precipitation chances will be ramping up Wednesday night into Thursday. We do still have a weather impact alert for Thursday. That's more precautionary than anything else. Again, there's going to be rain, right? Even when it's raining, there can be slick spots on the roads. But as far as icy travel, maybe some spotty ice on elevated surfaces over parts of the Hill Country. But at this point, it's mainly a cold rain for us here in the KVUE area. Little wacky temperature forecast. I think we're at 39 degrees to start the day on Thursday. Then as we go into the afternoon, temperature is actually dropping. I think we'll be at 35 at what would normally be the warmer part of the afternoon. By Friday morning, by daybreak Friday, all of the rain is out, so it's going to end Thursday night. 34 degrees in the morning on Friday, so no longer expecting a freeze Friday morning in Austin. Friday afternoon, 45, still cloudy, but sun is back on Saturday. A freeze in the morning on Saturday, but the afternoon is nice, a high of 56. 60 degrees on Sunday. And then as we go into next week, we do have a little cool front coming through, so that's going to drop our afternoon highs back into the 50s early next week. Monday, 56. Tuesday, just a very small rain chance. I've got a 10%, 39 in the morning, a high of 55. So again, just one more kind of breakdown for everybody. A cold rain is on the way here in Central Texas. There could be some spotty issues with some wintry mix over parts of the hill country. I don't expect that to create major travel issues here in our KVUE area. Again, in North Texas, areas north of here, it's going to be a different deal. But here in our KVUE area, spotty, maybe light wintry mix in the hill country. Otherwise, it's going to be a cold rain. We'll keep you updated on this forecast. Of course, if anything changes, we'll let you know. We still advise everybody continue to monitor this closely. It remains a relatively fluid forecast. We'll have the latest information for you coming up on KVUE News tonight at 10 o'clock. Y'all have a good night.